What is up, you guys? It's Joelle. Welcome back to my channel, and today I have a very exciting video on how to be ABG. I posted this on my Instagram story a little while ago, sarcastically asking if I should make a video about how to be ABG, and I got a lot of DMs saying yes, so I decided to do a ABG inspired makeup look and plus just a little discussion of ABG culture. I am obviously not a cultural Asian American studies expert by any means, but I'm an Asian American girl growing up in this digital age, so I'm just sort of sharing my thoughts and what I've noticed, and I would love if you guys came along with me. As you guys can probably tell from anyone who's watched any of my other videos, I do not personally identify as an ABG, but there are a lot of qualities of ABGs that I actually do really admire, such as being confident, loyal, and standing up for what you believe in. So, and for those of you guys who don't know what an ABG is, you may have heard many a stereotype, from the SoCal raver girls to the Asian chicks who spike their boba with Henny or soju or something, or you've just seen Asian insta baddies light up your feed with their fire posts, amazing outfits, and fleeky makeup. So I think we've probably all been exposed to some level of the Asian baddie kind of persona that is presented in our digital media today, and I think that that's really interesting because Asians now have a platform. We're now visible. But what are we visible as is my question. But anyways, without rambling on too much, let's get on into the video. So before we get started with our ABG Insta Baddie makeup look, I just want to go over what I have on my face already, which is mostly in my eyes. My contacts are provided by Iris Beauty. Thank you so much for sending them to me. Got to try them, and I'll have the color and link down below. So I want to share my thoughts on colored lenses for you girl with dark eyes. I actually really like them. I think that they look pretty natural, and I like how they kind of go for the more natural but still interesting colors in their lines that you can see online. So this was my first time trying colored lenses, and I found that I do have to be kind of careful with how I place them and put them on, because sometimes the color part can start to like slide over and start to cover my pupil, which is not fun. So be a little careful with that. If you're a little worried about that, you can try something more natural, like some circle lenses, which mostly have the color on the exterior of your iris rather than closer to the pupil. Colored contacts are pretty much part of the ABG uniform, so if you'd like to experiment with some colored contacts, I'll definitely have the link down below, and there's a little discount code for you as well. The last cool thing about these is that they last a really long time. You can wear them every now and then for several months, which was great because you just buy them once and you don't have to buy them again for a really long time. I'll be trying out some more of Iris Beauty's beauty products and letting you guys know what I think of those as well. But you know, ABGs out there are allowed to use color contacts to temporarily change the color of their eyes because they are confident that they are beautiful exactly how God made them. So no, I'm not wearing colored contacts because I'm a self-loathing Asian that wants to have lighter eyes, but because I see it as an aesthetic choice. Anyways, onto the makeup. To get started for the makeup for our ABG Insta Baddie look, we're gonna start with a primer. I'm just using this Style Nanda Pore Silky Balm because, you know, ABGs, they got that flawless skin. Asians have some of the best skincare you can get, Korean skincare right now especially. I literally just take the balm on my finger and rub it on the places where I have extra visible pores and blemishes, and I just melt this into my skin with my fingers. I'm going to go in with a couple of concealers to really just cover up all of my imperfections. Using Maybelline Master Concealer first to highlight a little bit in the color light medium. I personally hate the feeling of super cakey makeup, which is why I'm going a lot lighter with concealer, but for a lot of Instagram makeup artists, they just go crazy, contour the whole face. You could do that. I just don't like the feeling. This is Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I am using the deep color to get the deeper parts of my face that I don't want highlight. And again, you could go full out. I'm just doing a little dabs because I want it to be still somewhat sheer using a damp beauty blender. Okay, now that I got my base layer on, I'm just gonna go in a little bit again with the Maybelline Master Concealer to conceal the blemishes on my face. I'm just gonna set my face now with this NYX color correcting powder, only a little bit on my T-zone. And for the eyes, I'm just putting on a NYX eye base. But while we're getting into the makeup, why don't we talk about a little bit, what does it take to be an ABG? What does it mean to be an ABG? So obviously there are a lot of stereotypes about ABGs, some that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Again, honestly, I don't know if being an ABG is the kind of thing that is not allowed to be self-proclaimed. Are ABGs self-proclaimed? Do they acknowledge I am an Asian baby girl? I don't know, I think it's really an interesting cultural phenomenon that Asian American girls have found themselves in this place of being, you know, seen as baddies for once, which I honestly think is kind of cool. I know there are a lot of negative stereotypes about what it means to be an ABG. Next, I'm going in with my Marc Jacobs palette. I'm just gonna use this soft brown color all over my lid. But whether it's the negative stereotypes about being trashy or dressing slutty or just being annoying at raves, I think there are actually things that we can always learn from different cultural phenomena. Am I saying that right? That we can always learn to grow personally and also to just learn to better understand the age that we are currently living in. Now, I personally grew up, went through elementary school and middle school as an Asian American girl without Instagram, without any kind of social digital media really happening. YouTube was just starting up and Michelle Phan was literally the only one that we all watched. But yeah, there was no concept of like a baddie Asian girl. I didn't know that that was a thing until much later on with the rise of urban dance and hip hop and being able to see a lot more girls on the internet who are these really strong, confident Asian girls. So as a little kid, I grew up with the understanding that people would always assume that I was quiet, docile, didn't make up my own decisions, had to always take orders from other people, and that kind of sucked. I really didn't know how to deal with that going into high school. I was very confused and felt like I really needed to compensate for that by just being really aggressive and outspoken, almost like to a ridiculous extent. I'm just taking Naked palette to do a brown smoky eye, the classic ABG uniform, I feel like. So I'm gonna start out with Buck on my outer corner. I don't necessarily want to say that I like condone everything that it means to be an ABG, but I do think it's really cool that Asian American girls, again, have found themselves in this place of being able to have a wider range of personalities in digital media, because that was just not the case before. Granted, with the rise of the ABG, obviously, it's something that is still heavily fetishized, always, which sucks. For some reason, it seems like there's no way that Asian girls cannot be portrayed as some sort of weird sex object, whether it's like in the quiet, submissive way or in a really intense, domineering way. I think it is important to note that the caricatures that Asian American girls have been painted as are always sexualized. But still, I think that there are redeeming qualities to the ABG persona, you could say, as someone who actually does speak up for herself and stand up for herself, as well as her friends, and is actually not someone to be messed with. So rather than being an easy target to harass or just to pick on, you do not mess with ABGs. She's gonna get you back, or her friends will come jump you when you least expect it. Next, I'm going to take Smog, and I'm gonna wipe that all over the bottom of my lid along the lash line. I can't say exactly when the origin of like the ABG first emerged. I don't know if it was with Instagram or YouTube. I mean, obviously those were huge like proponents of allowing people to broadcast themselves over digital media, but I don't know when, you know, ABG actually became a thing, because it could have existed long before Instagram and it just became, you know, synonymous with being an Insta baddie after Instagram. But I mean, if you go back to its origin of like Asian baby gangster, Asian gangs have existed for a long time. So for those of you guys who are more well versed in that, let me know. After taking Smog everywhere, kind of blending it out, I'm gonna take Dark Horse, deepen up the outer corner. I think it's also interesting, just like the concept of like being an Insta baddie right now. Digital media has given people platforms to just share who they are. In a way, I think it's been pretty detrimental to our culture in how people feel the need to make a name or a profile for themselves on social media as like their identity, as a way for people to know who they are and recognize them. But at the same time, it has been such a platform that's allowed Asians to broadcast themselves when previously no one else would give us any platform. I think YouTube especially really paved the way for Asian artists, creators, whether it's in makeup or skits, comedy, music, whatever. Asians have really been able to find a place through digital media, and I think that that is pretty cool. Now I'm just taking a clean blending brush and blending out the harsh edges. And I'm blending up in this corner a little bit to smoke it out. How's that look? I don't know. Next, I'm gonna do brows really quick. This is where some more of my Iris Beauty makeup comes in. Brows, again, an essential part of the Insta baddie kind of look. So I'm gonna be using Iris Beauty's brow pencil. It's the Perfecting Eyebrow Brush. It has a wider tip, so It's very easy and quick to apply if you are newer to brows and just want something really easy to define. I would highly recommend it, but it doesn't give you that distinct like hair-like brush stroke because it is a thicker applicator. So for the Instagram eyebrow look, I kind of just define by doing a line below, a line above, and then filling it in. And then I just take the other end and brush it out. And to get that defined corner, I literally just use a clean finger. Okay, brows are done. I'm gonna throw in some liner. And I'm gonna do this off camera because it's just so much easier to do off camera. I'm gonna be using my Ultra Defining Liner, also by Iris Beauty. It is in a softer brown color, and I'm gonna be creating a wider wing, and then I'm gonna be doing a thinner wing on top of it using my NYX Epic Ink eyeliner, which is my favorite liquid eyeliner. And I'll be back in 3, 2, 1. Might be if the camera moved a little bit, but what I actually ended up doing is doing the brown wing all the way across and then just defining the like outer corner with the black. I don't know why my eyes started watering. I'm not crying, I promise, because ABGs don't cry. Just kidding, y'all, big girls cry. But what I'm also gonna do with my black liner is I'm just gonna draw a few fake lashes on my lower lash line just to, you know, imitate longer lashes, which don't exist, which is why ABGs always wear falsies. So we're gonna get into that. Also something that I don't wanna do on camera because I'm not that good at them yet. So I'm gonna go do those real quick. All right. Now that the falsies are on, I'm just using this really natural looking pair, which is not typical ABG, don't at me, but I got them in Japan. So, you know, maintaining those roots to the motherland. Now that I got those on, I'm gonna go back in again with the Iris Beauty liquid liner and just thicken up to cover up the band. My voice is a weird thing over there. What I really like about this Iris Beauty brown liner is that even though it's very defining, it's also a lot more forgiving than, you know, your jet black liner. And it has a pretty stiff felt applicator. So I feel like I can go into those hard to reach places. But if I make a little boo-boo, there is grace. Moving on to face, I'm just gonna sculpt till my cheekbones look like they could cut glass. But another really interesting thing about what ABGs have done for Asian Americans in the media that I'm interested in. Okay, maybe not necessarily ABGs, but like Asian Instagrammers with fashion. And I think because streetwear has become such a fad right now, and that has been a look in Asia for a while, I feel like, the way that Asian Americans are seen in terms of fashion is like they have a place there with streetwear. I feel like people for a long time really saw Asians as not being expressive at all, even though Asian culture is so artistic and aesthetics are such an important part of it. So I think it's really cool that that's kind of made its way into the Asian American culture of Asians being really artistic and expressing themselves. Going in with my NARS Orgasm Blush, and instead of putting this on the apples of my cheeks, I'm just sort of putting it along my cheekbones. And then using my little tiny Benefit What's Up highlighter. Instagram is really all about that glow right now. And lastly, I'm gonna finish it off with a matte lip. This is Lime Crime's liquid lipstick in Riley. And I'm going to low-key overdraw my lips because, you know, Insta baddie look. Big lips are in, and that is it. This is my completed ABG Insta Baddie look. I hope you guys all enjoyed seeing how I got this look and enjoyed my little random thoughts and ponderings. Please let me know what you guys think. If you have thoughts on just the ABG phenomenon, Instagram culture in general, the Insta Baddie culture, I'd love to hear your thoughts just because I think it's fascinating. So whether you're out there as an ABG or not, I love you all. And if you haven't yet already, please click subscribe down below. Join the J team where no one's a bench warmer, everyone's a playmaker. And hit me up on my social medias if you'd like to see more updates from my everyday life. For all of my Asian girls out there watching this, I hope you guys know that there is so much more available to you than what you see on the media demonstrated right in front of you. I love you guys. Jesus loves you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.